You absolutely knew I had to start the year with Zelda, right? What is up, you guys? Welcome to the collective. My name is Furman, and in this video, we are talking about The Legend of Zelda. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. Alright, let's get into it. It is pretty safe to say that the Nintendo Switch has been a juggernaut when it comes to games, but not just any games, Zelda games. I mean, we've had awesome games. We literally started the console with Breath of the Wild, which is iconically one of the best Zelda games ever made. Then we got Link's Awakening, which, was a pretty good game. I absolutely love those older style Zelda games, so this one was pretty good. And then right after that, we got the Breath of the Wild sequel, which is Tears of the Kingdom, and that game was absolutely phenomenal. And then right after that, in 2024, we got the first ever Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. But with all of these awesome and amazing new games and, the one remake, we've had a lot of really good games. But with all of these awesome games that we've been able to receive on the Nintendo Switch, it still feels like there's something that isn't quite right. It feels like there's just two games that are missing that makes no sense at all why they're not. Obviously, we're talking about these guys right here. The Legend of Zelda: WindWaker and The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Arguably two of the best games in the whole franchise. In my opinion, they actually are the best two games of the franchise, but that's just me. And, obviously I include Ocarina of Time in there because that game is the GOAT. That is like on another level. But, Wind Waker is actually my favorite. And it is hard to believe that these games aren't on the Switch. Now, if you ask me, this is my personal opinion on why these games aren't on Switch yet. It's pretty much because of the fact that Zelda isn't a Pokemon game. So remember, the Nintendo Switch has been out for 7, going on 8 years now? And we've gotten 4 Zelda games, 3 brand new games, and 1 remake. And yes, technically, 2 of those games were pretty much built on the same engine as the previous 2, but that's neither here nor there. They're still like full-on games. Like, you can't tell me that Echoes of Wisdom is anything compared to Link's Awakening, and that's the same thing with Breath of the Wild, where you have like 2 different new levels in the game. You don't just have Hyrule, you have, upper, the sky, loft area, the Sky Kingdom, and then you have the low rule area, the caverns and the dungeons and all that kind of stuff. So these games are absolutely massive, and I do think that this has something to do with the fact that we haven't received those ports. That makes it 4 games in a span of 7 to 8 years. So roughly, a game every 2 years is kind of what it ended up being for the most part. The times is a little bit debatable when it comes to that, but I do believe that this is the reason why we haven't received those games. Now, I can't imagine that it would be any other reason because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what's the one reason a company wouldn't want to put out a game? Well, it's because they think it won't sell well. But this has clearly not been the case. Every single Wii U game that has been ported to the Nintendo Switch has sold astronomically. I mean, it has just sold beyond crazy. So we know for a fact, and this isn't debatable, this is a actual fact, that every game that gets ported from Wii U to Switch sells 1 trillion times better. So we know that Nintendo knows this. They're a company, and they're, as much as we want to think that they care about their games and stuff like that, at the end of the day, they just want to make sales, okay? They want their video games to sell. And so I think that has something to do with it. I think it's just the fact that they're just kind of waiting for the right place at the right time. And they've had a lot of Zelda games coming out, but we've basically cleared the board now. There's nothing from what I can think of when it comes to a new Zelda game. There's no talks of it, there's nothing that's going on, but we have a new console on the horizon. The Nintendo Switch 2, the console that I am sick of hearing people talk about. I mean, YouTubers have beat that thing they have beat it like a dead horse, okay? They didn't just beat it with a stick, they ran it over, okay? They ran it over with a tank. The horse is dead, okay? You killed it. It's dead. Leave it alone. And if you guys think I'm crazy, yes, they've been talking more about the Switch in the last year or two, but we've been talking about the Switch since like 2019, okay? We have been talking, let me repeat that. We have been talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Max since 2019. That is 2 years after the launch of the Switch. In 2019, we thought it was going to be the Switch Pro Max, and it wasn't. It was the Switch Lite. And then in 2021, the same exact thing. We thought the OLED Switch was going to be the Switch Pro Max, and it was not. So yeah, it's done, okay? We've talked about it enough. Just let Nintendo launch it this year like they said they were going to do. Or announce it this year. Don't just announce it though. Launch it. Anyways, I do think that this is the perfect time for Nintendo to finally release these two absolutely iconic and wonderful games onto the Switch, or Switch 2 Pro Max. All of the Zelda games that we've been wanting have basically been released. You know, the one that we were the most hype about was Tears of the Kingdom. And I know they're probably working on another new Zelda, which hopefully, for the love of God, is a return to form to like the old school Zeldas, because I don't want every single Zelda game coming out new to be basically Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, where you build stuff and you do all that kind of stuff. Let's go back to the dungeon based, you know, this kind of stuff. We like this. We love this actually. But yeah, honestly, this would be amazing. In my opinion, I would do a dual pack. You know, you charge $60 and you get 2 games. Buy one, get one free, basically. That would be awesome. And to make matters better, if they made this a Switch 2 launch title, oh my goodness, guys. You don't even have to release a new game, okay? Because we're just going to be playing that. That's all we've ever wanted. Yeah, so long story short, I do think that now, 2025, is the time for us to finally get these games. Because Nintendo has come out with all the Zelda games that they've had planned. We have a new console upcoming. And, you know, because we've all been waiting for it. We've all been desperate for it. And we know that it is going to sell like crazy because it's Zelda. And it's not just Zelda. It's the best. It's the 2 best Zelda games that they've ever released, honestly. And like I said, no disrespect to Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past. Those are on a different category. But these games are just absolutely awesome. Alright guys, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. And honestly, what are your thoughts? Do you guys think that we might actually get these 2 games finally on the Switch 2? Do you think that we're going to get them this year or maybe next year? Who knows? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments section, okay? And as always guys, do not forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. And we will see you guys on the next video. Peace. Nintendo, you hear me loud and clear. I'm sick and tired of your crap. Get your act together, okay? Nobody asked for echoes of wisdom. This is what we want. This is all we've ever wanted. We're watching. And your days are numbered. And no, that's not a threat. That's a promise.